Hi everyone, welcome to another Sailor Moon Crystal Act 19 review. Another Sailor Moon Crystal review. Today we'll be discussing Act 19. Act 19 is called, I believe I'm remembering the title right, Time Warp, Sailor Pluto. And if it's not that, that's what I'm calling it to kind of keep on track. So, this has some comparison to the 90s, and I will mention them when I remember them. So let's get started. So Act 19 picks up right where Act 18 leaves off. Sailor Venus does not get abducted, so that's a first, because usually in Crystal, each scout gets their own episode, and in that episode, that scout mentioned gets abducted. So at this time, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Mercury are all still missing. So, yeah. And in the 90s, by this point, Rubeus and all of them kidnapped all four of the scouts except Sailor Moon to get to Chibiusa. So, again, Crystal's progressing fast. We're already on Act 19 and stuff. So, Chibiusa and Usagi are at Mamoru's place, and Usagi's telling Mamoru to hold her and kind of keep close to her. So he does that. He's saying, of course, I'll protect you and everything. And Chibiusa's, I believe, sleeping. Keep in mind, I watched this at 5 in the morning, so I can't really remember. So, anyway, long story short, we don't get to see much of the villains in this episode. It's more of the Chibiusa-based thing. And so the next day, she takes Tuxedo Mask, Sailor Moon, and Sailor Venus to the 30th century. And stuff. And we get to meet Sailor Pluto. So Sailor Pluto has been introduced into Crystal. And in the 90s, all 5 scouts plus Tuxedo Mask went to the 30th century. So that's a little comparison to the 90s / difference, because in Crystal, only Venus and Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask go with Chibiusa, not all the other scouts. Anyway, we're going to jump to the villains a little bit. Emerald is telling Prince Diamond, I don't know how to say his Japanese name yet, but she's telling him, I have a plan, because the Ayakashi sisters are all gone, and so she's trying to get her plan into action. And then we go back to Chibiusa, and Pluto, similarity here, she tries to attack Sailor Moon and tells her no one will cross the door of time, or something like that. It's a taboo. So, but Chibiusa runs up to her and apologizes for breaking the promise that she made her, and Pluto was just happy to see Chibiusa, and she calls her princess, which shocks everybody because they did not know she was a princess. So she tells them, I am a princess, I've been keeping this a secret. In the 90s, she did not say that. So that's a little different. And so they get to the 30th century, and they get trapped in, I believe, a crystal cage or a crystal thing, and Tuxedo Mask hears a voice, and it tells him to break the floor of the crystal with his power. So he does that, and they all get free. That's the difference. In the 90s, that didn't happen. So this is, again, Crystal. So they get broken free, and when Sailor Moon used Moon Healing, or Moon Princess Halation, I believe is how you say that name, it didn't work. But Tuxedo Mask freed them. And so when they get free, they run to the palace, and they see, they somewhat see, because I couldn't tell, but I knew what it was because of the manga. They see the frozen Neo Queen Serenity in sleep. And then Chibiusa sees Diana, so we get to see Diana in this episode, and she runs and Chibiusa is just happy to see her. And then we see Prince Endymion, or King Endymion, actually. So we get to meet the future King Darien, or the King Endymion. And we didn't officially get to see Neo Queen Serenity, but I believe that'll be in the next episode, Act 20. So, yes, that's going to be in 2 weeks. So, there you go. That is kind of my review for Act 19, Time Warp Sailor Pluto. What I think of the episode? I think it is going, again, a little too fast for my liking, but hey, I'm just happy to have it. So we're almost toward the end of the 26 episodes that we were guaranteed by Toei Animation and Viz. Let's hope we get to get the rest of the manga, because again, we were only guaranteed 26 episodes for the reboot. And we're already done with Act 19. We're going to be on Act 20 in 2 weeks. And then after that, it's going to be 6 episodes, and then we're going to probably not have any more. So please, I'm going to stress this, do watch Crystal on official sites. And so, yeah. But again, I like it. I like the reboot. I thought I wouldn't, but hey, I love it. I love how the artwork is looking. I love how the story is. And yeah, I'm still used to the 90s, but I like the reboot. Because again, I read the manga before the reboot came out, so I kind of know what's happening. Although it's been a while since I read the manga. But anyway, so there you go. That is my review for Act 19, Time Warp Sailor Pluto. I'll be back with another Sailor Moon Crystal review in 2 weeks for Act 20. See you later, Moonies. Bye.